Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're here with another Feeding Frenzy for A Course in Weight Loss, and we're on lesson number 5.
This is about building a relationship with good food. So how are you feeling today?
I'm not feeling too good today.
Is it because of this?
I don't know. I think that's part of it, yeah.
Why?
I don't know why yet. It's brought up a lot of emotion.
Okay.
And I don't know what the
Can't put a
emotion
finger on it?
is from yet. But evidently I've hit something deep
Okay.
that I need to look at.
Okay.
When I was in the shower this morning, I noticed a lot of movement of the weight on my body, which is not necessarily, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. I recognize that I had a very good relationship with my body the way it was, especially after we did the body painting. But I recognize in this process I'm going to have a new relationship with my changing body. Because change is uncomfortable. You get used to, I even got used to the demons in my life, you know what I'm saying? And a change from that is still difficult. And I just realized this morning in the shower, I'm going to have to get used to the changes. They're taking place too.
Are you afraid for your thin self to come out?
No, I'm really anxious. I'm really anxious for that. I am probably more impatient for that and having trouble with allowing the process. I don't think it's as much the change in me as the change is happening too slow for me. If it makes any sense.
What do you think about this lesson?
I see the need in it to create a different relationship with the food. And I realized that what I had going on was not a love for food, even though I have called it that. But just like the people in my life when I was younger taught me a different picture of love, which it wasn't love, it was fear, I realized that I don't have the love of food going on that I thought I did. And I realized I need a different relationship with it. That too is bringing up other things that I don't know. I can't put a finger on yet.
What about your reaction to the exercise we're supposed to do for this lesson?
Well, my just to be honest, my first thoughts were all negative. I don't have time to go shop for a silly napkin, and why do I need another plate? At the same time, as soon as I had those thoughts, I'm thinking, okay, where's the fear behind that? Why is that negative thought coming up? So on the heels of that, I'm thinking, all right, what is the point to this exercise? And I think the point is, obviously, to have a different attitude about the food. And if you set a different table, you're going to have a different attitude. Most often we eat on paper plates and stuff. And like she says in the lesson, that is, on the run. And I recognize that. And you're exactly right. If I set a different table, then I'm going to have a different experience. And I understand it. I understand it. But then I uncovered the whole, I don't necessarily have the extra to go buy another plate and to go buy another. And then I thought about the napkin. I thought, I've never seen a beautiful napkin. And if I have, then I haven't wanted to use it because I didn't want to mess it up. So I realized there's something there too that I need to look at.
Wow.
Wow.
But
I also recognize that I need to slow down with this one and work through it.
I noticed I had some resistance to this too.
Really?
I was like, I don't want to go buy a pretty plate, a pretty fork. It's just useless. I did it the last time I did this. And I don't remember if it helped or not. And then you asked me about the napkin. You were like, I've never seen a pretty napkin, have you? And I said, yeah. My mom used to, she used to set a beautiful table. That was her pride and joy, was to set the nice table. She loved to cook, and she loved to make a big deal out of the dinner. And I thought, well, maybe that's bringing some stuff back for me. Is maybe it reminds me of her. And maybe that makes me sad because she's not here now. Or maybe that's where a lot of my eating habits started, were around pretty dishes, you know, and cleaning my plate and not being able to leave until I did finish the food on my plate, which I understand, you know, where that comes from. In the other generations, they needed to eat what was there, you know. So I don't blame her. I'm not trying to blame anybody for my bad habits, but I'm not real sure where the resistance came from. But I do see the benefit in this, you know.
I do too.
I see the benefits of putting on our best for God, and you know, having that on our altar, and having it consecrated and holy, and turning that part of our life over to Him too. And I see the symbolism in it. And for that reason, I don't mind doing it. However, I still have some resistance to it. It's like, okay, I get the message. Why can't we just move on?
And I think my biggest resistance, and it shouldn't be, but it is, but I should feel like I want to lay out the best for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
For me. You know, because this is why I'm doing it, for me. So why wouldn't I want to lay out the best for me? And that's how I should be looking at the food that I take in. I should want the best for me.
Good point.
But that was not my experience when I was young. I literally had to get it when I could get it. And sometimes that was in the middle of the night after everybody went to bed, and I had to hide it to make sure nobody knew that I took it. You know, I had that kind of experience, so there was never a place for me at the table.
But it helps, I think, to first be conscious that that's what is happening, and that it is a trigger, and to look at where did this trigger come from. And I think in a lot of cases those triggers are based on silly stuff that really shouldn't matter. But I don't want to trivialize it and say that our feelings are wrong. They're not. But when we look at them from a grown-up perspective as opposed to a kid's perspective when we lay them out there, then it's different.
Yeah.
And it's not as scary or big. You know, it reminds me of the elephants that are staked to the ground when they're babies, and they cannot pull the stake out of the ground. And after a while, they quit trying. And then they grow up, and they could easily pull that stake out of the ground, but just because they're staked in, they won't even try. Because they've been conditioned.
They've grown up knowing
that they can't move.
They can't,
and I feel like a lot of our triggers were big and scary then, but now from this different perspective, they're going to be small and insignificant. If we can be conscious enough to figure out where these fears came from.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm hoping that some of the fears we discover are not really that big of a fear anymore. And just having the awareness of those fears can help get them out of our backpack.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm going to need time to move through this one. I think I've hit a pretty big pile of rocks, so to speak, and I'm going to have to take some time to look at each one of them.
Right.
Well, we said we were going to do this as Spirit-led, and I think that I'm being led to slow down for just a little bit and take my time, because I'm not just doing this, I'm growing through this.
On a brighter note,
Yes.
you did really good yesterday.
I really did. I was
really
proud of myself.
So you want to tell them
It was almost like taking an alcoholic to a bar and telling that person you can have anything in here you want and ordering water. So my daughter and I went out and we did dinner and a movie. Really enjoyed the movie and had water at the movie. I told her before we went in, I said, I'm not buying popcorn and Cokes and all that. She said, I'm fine with that. I said, good. And of course, Chinese food is one of my really big, I could go there and gorge, really, because I enjoy the flavors of the food so much. And I'd set a different intention before I went in. And I just decided, no, this time I'm going to choose for me. I'm not going to eat out of emotion. I'm going to choose for me. I'm going to quit when I'm full. And so I went in. I was kind of looking at the bar, trying to figure out, okay, what first can I eat here?
Right.
What I truly want to feed myself, can I eat here? And if I did find anything, then I was going to choose to just wait until I got back home. But I didn't. I found some things I felt like I could eat. So I had green beans, and I had some broccoli and carrots, and I had some barbecue chicken, and some kind of teriyaki chicken on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I had very small amounts of each one.
Mm.
And didn't even finish everything on the plate. I had decided I'm going to stop when I'm full. And so I stopped. And my daughter was still eating, and that was fine. I just enjoyed conversation with her. And she had a great big thing of ice cream. And she asked, Mom, do you want some of this ice cream? I said, no, thank you. I don't want any ice cream. And then I asked myself, do I really want ice cream? And the answer was no, I really don't want ice cream. I really want these wontons. So I truly enjoyed the wontons. And then I decided to have the fortune cookie that came with it. It was a really nice dinner.
Good for you.
And I really felt good about my choices. And I was really hesitant to find out, okay, I knew just calories were going to be out the wazoo, right? And so I came back and I put it in. I used my FitnessPal in order to keep up with it, and I put it in my FitnessPal, and it was still under 400 calories.
Wow, good for you.
And so I had everything that I truly wanted, and still kept it there. So that really made me feel good. I was feeling really good with my choices.
Good for you.
What about you? Because you headed out of town, had to do the same thing.
I did to visit my sons. And one of them works at Huddle House, which is not known for its healthy food. And
It's not known for vegetables.
Yeah, I was thinking, now what in the world can I eat? Or am I just going to cheat today and just wipe it off? And I thought about it because my sister, who was with me, ordered this peanut butter milkshake.
Oh,
I'm thinking,
peanut butter's high on your list.
And chocolate too. But I didn't. That was good. I thought, okay, they serve breakfast all day. I could get just eggs and, like I would have breakfast. And I started to get just eggs and bacon. And then I saw their omelet, and I thought, well, that's not bad. It's got the meat and the vegetables and the egg. And the only thing really that I probably shouldn't have had was the cheese. But I got it, and my son was waiting on us, and he said, well, do you want hash browns and toast? I said, no, I really don't. And he said, well, I have to charge you for them. Why don't you just get them and I'll eat them? And so I gave him the extra stuff, and I just ate the omelet, and I was completely satisfied. And normally I would have sat there and I would have eaten the hash browns and the toast and everything. So I was proud of myself too.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
I probably shouldn't have eaten the cheese, but as David says, just eat what you want and then write it down and go from there. And just any progress is progress.
Yes.
And this morning though, I got on the scale and I am down another 4 pounds. So
rock on!
I am proud of you. But it was still.
I am really
progress.
proud.
So we're celebrating any little progress, right?
That is wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
It feels good. I feel better. I've felt better all week since we started this, and even after the 10-day challenge, I want to keep eating better. Now I may not eat as
restricted, yeah.
And I may indulge a little more in certain things, but
amount-wise, that's good.
Amount-wise, I'm going to keep doing this. Even if I were to have the peanut butter milkshake, I will only get half of it, or get it and split it with somebody, or do something different to not have so many calories at one sitting. I mean, that's been life-changing for me, to realize that, wow, if I can just, no matter what it is, limit it to 300 or 400 calories. And obviously, the healthier I eat, then the longer that's going to last me, as far as satisfying me.
Right.
But I don't want to deprive myself. This is not about deprivation, or I won't stick with it.
Yeah. So I need a day or two to cry it out, or whatever, and then get back. But
we did make the commitment to put these out every day, so we will put something out tomorrow.
Yes.
Even if it's just more of our interview with David, something will go out tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get something out every day, but it might not necessarily be
the next lesson. Right?
Yeah. I just need a little time.
Yeah. I think we both do. I think we all do. We need a little time to process this. This is
Yeah.
a lot of information we've been taking in.
In a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
In a very short amount of time.
Right. Good stuff.
It was good stuff. Sure.
Shreen.